Seriously, the same.
know.
I feel like both of us might have the same thing. Both
No,
of us.
everybody, see, Gen X, everybody has the same thing.
Seriously, who's your Gen X?
Don't worry now.
Right, I think we all
We
know.
don't reach now.
See,
Okay,
we all know.
Okay.
let me read the criteria. So for Gen X is basically next rated. Like, who do we think? Gen X means, I mean, like you watch
Next to
it
blue
first,
when it
so
comes to major
next
stardom.
generation of stars, right? So Gen X criteria. Why do I keep saying category? Rise in popularity, impactful releases, cultural influence, diversity of work, longevity potential. I don't know why I always say something else, but yeah, and unique identity. So, Deji, let's hear from you. Who is your Gen Next for 2024?
So let me do my honorable mentions. I have a couple of them.
Is it that deep?
I have to because
You have to.
I feel like it's just so obvious that like if I don't do, I feel like other people might deserve like
Right.
a level of, So let's say honorable mentions: Lona,
Cool.
Zeri DL,
Yeah.
First Class,
Right.
and this one is purely because my heart just needs to do it, and also because of representation. Cold AF
I
and
mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
like,
Not the strong, yeah.
It needs to be there.
The strong
she
speak, yeah.
should be there.
Cold AF and Amaya.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now for my actual selection, it's Iomaf, man. It's Iomaf.
Damn.
It's simple. Like I can't.
Cool.
We've read,
And the church says,
Is that your
Amen.
That's mine. I
and the
It's
church
Iron Man.
says,
Yes, I'm
Amen.
the laughing stock.
What? You have a different opinion?
Why Lolo?
Is Lona?
It's Lona for me.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
It's Lona
He's
for
a big
me.
Strong pick,
contender,
yeah.
yes.
He's a good contender, right?
Yeah, he's a
I
good
didn't go too
contender.
far off. I didn't pick Iomaf because again, I was like one thing that really stuck out to me with the criteria was the unique identity. And I feel like when you talk about
Yes.
yeah.
when
That
you talk
gave me
about
a
like that was
pause.
what it was for me.
Yes.
So
He
it was just
actually
I was
has
just thinking
a
about
unique
when you think about the separate identities.
Leonard's identity is strong,
It's
child.
Yeah,
so
stronger.
strong.
Branding
It's stronger than I
is
heard.
Branding is you know what they are telling you.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to look too much. You
He's
know
a
what they are
therapist.
saying. You know what they literally. You know what he's trying to sell. The music is there to also like help you understand what he's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
The brand is right there. So
Yeah.
it's like
Fair enough. I can see
Yes.
that.
that's
Yeah.
exactly why.
Strong shouts.
So y'all really said fuck me, right?
I mean, even like on the subject of commercial success, I think as of yesterday, every single one of his songs
Yeah,
has
I
over
saw
1
that.
million streams.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Not
is
bad for him. They're in the ass, man.
And also, I'm not gonna lie, and I think Aramaf probably deserves some of this credits as well. The fact that he was brave enough to come out of the gates and be like, "I'm going to give you an album
Yeah.
right away," because you know the templates for the most part has been like
Usually
EPs, where he's
Single
like,
EP, he's like, there's too many things to say.
yeah. So
I can't be
I've
cussing
suffered
it.
too much.
that was a brave move, and I think also like even just carrying that northern consciousness as well. Like he's talking about like bandits
Yeah.
and like having to be like a what's the word where you go from place to place,
Nomad.
a nomad. You know, like it's very distinct, and also like the level of melancholy that his project carries, and like just it's very emotive. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's definitely a thing. Whereas with Iomaf, even though like I mentioned about him being like a bit more funny in that regard, like it's you can't say it's stuff you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lona feels a bit more like
Very.
an anomaly in a large way.
I know. Like earlier, there was the comparison between he and
Omale.
Oma.
Yeah.
But you look at these two brands. I mean, as somebody that actually has a good eye, you look at these two brands and you see
Clearly
the
difference.
clear
Yes.
distinction.
Yeah.
Like there is a difference between the
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
They are two completely different people. They are telling you two different stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Omale. He's one of the greatest. But like, you look at Luna, you're just like, damn, like.
There's
why-
a level of grit that is there that is just like
Like,
because Omale is a
damn.
bit softer with how he describes it. Lona is like, I've been
He's so
through it.
raw. Like
Yeah.
he's
Raw.
so, and I think that's one thing for me. Like the depth is always so important. I need to know I need to feel like you in this
Yeah.
moment, and that's one thing he really did with Homeless. Like I was able to feel every single emotion. Till this morning, I was still listening to the album, and that's because just for the past few days, I've just been in like a fix on like in a mood.
Yeah.
But every single time I listen to the album, I'm just like, why do you know me so much? Like, why do you
relate
you
with him.
completely? Like, it's not even. I feel like the word is even deeper than just relating, because you relate to Ayomaf, you relate to a bunch of different people. But with Lona, it's like you are feeling the emotion. Like he's singing this thing and you are feeling it. Like sometimes I feel like he's hugging me. That's how the music feels. Like it feels so comforting and so warm. And I think it was Chidinma that said it, like, homeless makes you feel at home. Like it makes you feel like you are,
that connection.
like that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, they literally got the point. And like shout out to Bibi AOT, shout out to Luna, and shout out to people that are making this thing happen, because you don't see this on a normal day. I think Oxygen tweeted this thing where he said something about Luna, and then he finished it up with this is not something that you see on a normal day.
No, it's not.
And
No.
It's
you
not.
don't see things like this on a normal
Straight
day.
out the gates, not like this.
I get that, like, what's Breakout Star or what's that conversation of Gen X has become is not really the same thing. Because if you look at, for the past few years, like last year we had Shaggy, we had Odumodu, the year before that we had Ashake. Like if you look back,
On a
it's
large,
had,
big
like,
scale.
Yeah,
when you
it's
talk
massive.
about Gen X and Breakout Stars, you know, it's always the world can see. But right, this year it wasn't the same thing, but it didn't mean that we didn't have Breakout Stars. We still had some. We had Iron Math, we had Luna, we had Taves, we had a bunch of people like you can see. But with Luna, it's just there's I don't know the words to use. Like, and
kind of
I
captured the
really
mood of the
struggle.
year.
Yeah,
It
like
is.
exactly. I think
Yes,
that was also
that was
it for
another
me. Like every single time I had to listen to the album, the day that I listened to the album, I told Luna this thing when he came on the pod. The day that I listened to the album, I had just had a very long ass day, and I sat on my bed and I just plugged my ears and and the first song that played was Still Scared, and I'm like it was tears, instant tears, like. I was moved, and that's not just because of what he's even saying, just because of the what's it called, the texture of the vocals.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
What has the texture?
There's a pain in it that's like it's
like,
you can't
it's so
replicate
obvious.
it.
Yeah,
has been-
You can
it
tell
has
that this
been
one is not
sandblasted by
lying.
pain.
yeah.
So it's just like there's so many things that go into it, and that's exactly why he's my Gen X.
You know, it's funny. Outside of that as well, I think it's also the intentional choices that he made. So, like the spoken word, you have like the little
enough.
excerpts, like from the Tyler Perry thing where he's talking about, like, I can't forgive my father.
Oh shit, that was Tyler Perry.
It was
Yeah,
Tyler
that's
Perry.
Tyler
Yeah.
Are
Perry.
you serious?
Yeah. I think he was on Oprah. Maybe
you know that?
I forget what it was.
I'm so shocked. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it was like the Tyler Perry
I just-
excerpt.
Thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, but it was deep because if you actually
the context of the song
the context, and especially by Tyler Perry, because I had to go when I was doing research on Lona's when I was listening to the actual thing, and it's heavy. It's so heavy, and I think that's what it is as well. Like he's not afraid to explore like themes that have that level of depth, and I think it's the same reason I connected with The Boy Alone, for example, on a crazy level, because like
Are you serious?
yeah,
You didn't give off. You liked the album that
Boy
much.
Alone. Boy Alone was my project of that year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was. It was like down to like him speaking on Never Forgets with like the Shamsi production on that
That's how I
record.
know you're a real one.
And even him even just talking about like, you know, like just being in Port Harcourt and doing what they call fire, where it's like they're extracting illegally
Illegal
extracting
refinery.
from the refineries. Like this is somebody who's like outside of the fact that they're being vulnerable, they have like a complex range of human emotions that they've experienced, and they have a way of just, you know, navigating it and compressing it for the average person. Where it's like
the compression for me. Like, how do you sing in 3 minutes 40-something seconds or less?
and you stretch
damn,
these emotions out of a human being. Yeah, Lona is special. He's special.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So next category, we have Artist of the Year.
Are you sure you want to do Artist of the Year right away? Do you want to do
Album of the Year
first?
is next. So it's like I feel like which one was more difficult for you guys?
I feel like Artist of the Year is the grand distinction of anything else.
You
Where it's
think?
like, yeah, like it's the
Not
final.
Album of the Year.
At the Grammys, what's the last thing they gave? Is this
Album
Song of the Year?
There's no
Album of
artist
the
of the year
year.
at the Grammys.
Fair
So
enough.
you just talk about
Album of the
album.
Year is-
But Artist of the
it's
Year
not-
feels
it's not
like a
Album
more
of the Year.
definitive thing.
It's Album of the Year. I remember Beyonce crying last
So
year.
so let's do.
There's album of the year that is the last in Grammys.
Okay, so we can do Album of the Year.
let
last.
us-
That's
So they're
literally
like-
what
they're like four
I had
major
to
ones.
check. I had to check it.
Well,
I
yeah,
had to
no.
confirm.
Yeah, no. So let's
But
do
I
Artist
remember
of the Year.
Beyonce. Chidinma is a bad person, by the way.
I don't think she's winning it this year again, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point.
yeah. That's
These Grammys now,
it's
don't
calm.
worry. They'll tell you to come with your
She
finding.
ain't my queen. She ain't
Then I
winning
give
though.
Jelly Roll. Album of the year. Let's go. Fuck it.
Watch Taylor Swift win it again.
So they
No,
need
I
to
don't think
shampoo
so. I
these
feel
CMAs.
like
Bro, that
Come
was.
I feel
perform.
like
Come
this
on,
year.
But you're not going to go away with anything that
This year,
matters.
did that Sabrina Obeli though?
For what?
Both of who
Album
deserve
of the
it, to be
year.
honest with you.
Yes.
You think Taylor
Yeah, Billie Eilish.
Is it that Billie or Sabrina?
Sabrina might not get album, but her
Record.
singles, songs.
I feel like Please is going to
I
win
love the
Song of the
Grammys. You
Year.
just come and they just fuck your whole.
Literally.
Even Shabuzi wasn't even nominated for
Which
Record of
is
the Year.
insane.
I
That's
screamed.
insane.
No, you know the thing is that
Country
Grammys,
is the most
they
gatekept
intentionally act
genre.
crazy.
I
You can't
screamed.
tell me otherwise.
I kept saying it, thinking something else.
See,
would
the
come up,
gatekeeping in
and
the
then I
country,
didn't see.
It's mad.
they even gatekeep white artists.
Artist of the Year is Ashake.
Hey,
Oh, wow, okay.
Ashaki.
Asheki.
Okay.
That's my Artist of the Year.
I guess I'm next. I'll just go. So we'll just go around like this.
That's it.
That's
It
just-
Nothing else to say.
answered everything. Just
No, but you still defend it too.
No, but there's nothing to say.
there's
like,
nothing.
you just
What where do you want to start
I mean, but
from?
we have indices that I feel like I would love to hear what your
Okay,
contribution
cool.
of that
Let's
is.
hear it from you.
Commercial success.
He was there.
He was there.
I think it's still number
Cultural
one now.
impact. He was there.
Always
the
there.
streets, Longo Boy, the whole
His impact is
street.
just too much.
If you notice his whole brand look, everything, his
He's a
style,
Longo Boy.
he's into all the what's it called, the music videos, everything. Even the
I like the one that
dropped-
came out yesterday.
Yes, you can see.
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah,
streets,
that was
the whole thing going on. Consistency,
Yeah, for sure.
January, I've
collaboration.
been
You,
dropping his-
you spoke about his collaboration.
Yeah. I don't think anybody collaborates it better than he this year.
Yeah.
Fan engagement.
Like
He
he doesn't
did.
even. Ashake needs to breathe.
I
TikTok
just
boy.
want-
My artist speaks
Ashake
for himself. His reputation.
You just put up the
precedes
caption
him.
and everybody's like, okay.
It's
Like
fine.
literally, this nigga breathes. This is he just yesterday. He just was out now.
Out
By the
now.
time I was checking the video, I was seeing the numbers. I said, we are all here.
He's actually in such a unique spot because I don't know that any artist who have come out as recently as he has can afford that level of like mystique. Everybody else kind of has to be in your face, but Ashake just does what he does and keeps it
You know the
pushing.
thing with someone like Ashake, I feel like, especially because it makes sense that he's like very mysterious and all of that, like the brand. I feel like the only reason why he can maintain a brand like that is because that's who he is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
things like
natural.
that you can't fake.
Yeah.
He's
You
original.
can just
That's
tell.
just-
You know this is him with the lights off, like bro.
Yeah.
Literally, because like for how long he has been here since how many years ago?
Yeah.
He's still doing Lungu Boy. We're still here.
Yeah.
Consistency, my dear.
And also
sis.
crazy credits, like a lot of credit to TG and his new guy Edgar Estevez
Yeah.
because
The visual branding.
oh my goodness, because he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk, but when you think about Ashake, if you close your eyes, images come to you immediately, you know, and I don't think that's easy to do. It's not.
at all.
It's not. But yeah, I like that
Needs
pick.
a lot of money.
It does. It does.
Okay, so I guess me next. My artist of the year, the Batman himself.
I knew somebody else to pick.
It's Rema. Like there's no, you know what? I don't even fight for Rema normally, but this is my time to shine. Like with Rema this year particularly, I don't think anybody achieved his level of creativity. Like the guy did everything. There was nothing he didn't do. He did his album. He did it. He did fan engagement snippets, all of that. The snippet that he released
Oh my
how many days
gosh.
ago? Did you see that thing on TikTok?
It's a movement on TikTok.
Literally, like,
It's almost.
People saw.
It feels like
They are jamming it
you
as a
get-
full
and
song already.
It's like he did the same thing with the song with Darko and the song with Darko, favorite girl. The TikTok what's it called, acceptance and the social media acceptance, the engagement,
Yeah.
and just for him as an artist. Let's talk about collaboration. The song with Buju Benson.
yes.
The song with Benson, the song with Darko, like he has done quite a lot. And then you now look at the album, and you're like, this is the same person that sang "Pay Me My Money,"
Bro.
and you're just like, you know what?
nominated for a Grammy as well.
This same year,
Yeah.
this same year. But you know what? I feel like they only nominated him because they snubbed him last year.
What?
Not like
Yeah,
you, like,
me
I don't
too,
even want
me
to
too.
Understand. There's no point.
We'll meet at the end, don't worry.
There's no way Calm Down should have at least got like, yeah.
That was a heavy snub.
It was
you know
heavy.
When you say that it's not the Megan Thee Stallion snub. We're talking about real snub.
Osikoya's picks.
We're talking about real snub. Because I saw that they snub.
Please close up on that.
They snub him.
So they can see his hand that said it.
They snub Megan. Like, not to Megan at all. But
But
Yeah.
for real. Sorry, supporting the body.
Wasta. That was a jam right there.
No, it was.
That's my song of the summer. That's all.
No,
Shout out to the Japanese rapper.
Yes.
no, Megan is
I
up
really
there.
liked the VMA's performance.
Yeah.
Like, that was cute.
No, Megan is up there. And also, outside, even though it's an Megan conversation, like, she be bringing in the money too. Like, I remember, like, there was a memo that went out, or like a circular that went out, speaking about some of the biggest people who've contributed to Warner's stock. Her name was there. Dua Lipa's name was there. Burna's name was there. Bro,
What do you mean?
considering that he didn't go on.
Yeah, carry on.
Considering that he didn't even put out a project
He
this
will go
year.
to that office and say, excuse me, where's the HR here?
I don't think people understand how, and I think we've said this, I've said this on the podcast before, I don't think people understand how big Burna is.
Yeah.
Burna is like the biggest
Burna
actor
is
out of
big,
Nigeria last
but damn, Burna is big.
You know he's big. He's big.
Whoa.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, shout out to Wiz and David and all, but what is it? Do you know what it is to pull off a fucking stadium tour?
When he touches down in a country,
They feel it.
Hey,
They feel
God,
it.
I beg
you think no, the
you.
president is coming.
They feel it. I remember watching his I remember I don't remember what it was. Was a performance in Jamaica where he brought out Popcan, he brought out Serrani, and like the reception outside of like just even people screaming, the level of like, we know your songs word for word. Word for word. No, he's
In the
different.
Caribbean, they play all his music.
Literally.
It's madness.
Yeah.
It's madness.
No sense. It's like, and you see him touring stadiums.
Stadiums. Things big American artists
Like-
can't do.
Some American artists cannot just do arena tours.
Do
Don't talk of stadium.
Lil Baby can do it.
We saw it now. He canceled his tour last year because of that.
Why you did like that?
Jack Harlow them can do it.
Bro, and just obviously,
Name calling.
bro, this is not a burnout conversation, but like he also gave a bunch of Afrobeats artists their biggest stage till date. Omale, he had Sabinus at that thing. Do you get
Make I know to her.
Odumodu? Like the list is endless, you know.
Make I go to.
So there's always an element of like,
Collect your props.
bro,
Collect her.
there's always just an element where we have to acknowledge his greatness because Burna is like on a different
Actually,
level.
you know, anytime I think about Burna, I only think about Shia.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like it makes no sense. My earliest recollection of Burna Boy has to do with Deji's brother.
Oh.
It literally makes
Because
no sense.
my brother went to Corona, and for as long as I've known like Burna, it was because of him.
Like-
he would go back to like Burn Notice. He would go back to like gems that like I'd never heard before. And he actually said back in the day, and I'll give my brother his credit. He said he would be the one to bring the Grammy. And I was like, really? Like, Sean, like, whatever. Like, and now, like, the chickens have come home to roost because he's that guy, you know. Shout out to Coach. But outside of that, my artist of the year, and I've been saying this, to be honest, I think...
want to know.
No, I got you.
I hope I attack you.
I think for as long as, like, the album has been out, that was already my number one, and I was waiting for other people to unseat her. My artist of the year
I love her.
is Ira Star.
Baby girl.
Is Ira Star. I think when we talk about all the different metrics on like the indices,
That's a good pick.
commercial success, she's super successful in that regard. You have Commas, which in my opinion is like, not even in my opinion, objectively is the second biggest Afrobeat song to come out this year. I think after Love Me Jeje, I don't think any of the song has done their numbers.
Love Me Jeje has hit 100 million.
Yeah, over 100 million. I think Commas is not too far behind.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
just feel like that's one of the next songs to enter the billions.
What, Commas? Or Love Me Jeje? Oh yeah, I could see that. Hopefully it has a lot of staying power. And then commercial success as well. Like, I keep saying I don't think because I'm trying to be political, but no, yeah, I just, my natural mediator personality keeps coming out in that regard. No other song by any Afrobeats artist or a song that an Afrobeats artist has been on has been as successful as this, and that's Santa, which is essentially like the bonus track off of like, and it's a bit of a cheat because it's like,
Algorithm shit.
yeah. You know, when you break into Latin America, let's just throw that in there as well to kind of like boost the numbers. But regardless, like it's the biggest track that any Afrobeats artist has been on in 2024, and I think that has to be acknowledged. Cultural impact: she made history as the first Afrobeats act to perform at the Louvre in France. You know, she was the first Afrobeats artist as well to perform on Glastonbury's Pyramid stage. She showed workings in Brazil, which is like one of the holy grails of fan engagement and fan love. I remember like the guy who came up on there, I was like, oh, you're a Sabi gaze, which is like such a moment in itself. Yeah, because she has captured that market as well. Also, just a stellar album. You know, like I already mentioned, like having one of the biggest songs out of the year in Commas and like Santa as well. Toured with Chris Brown, you know, created moments on that tour as well. Toured with Coldplay, you know, got featured. Big, massive look. Got featured on a Coldplay record. She was in the Crop Over Festival in Barbados with Rihanna, which was a moment in itself. Even just randomly popping up on TMZ and having given us one of the memes of the years, like, I know they do. I don't know. Such a Yoruba woman, you know. Like, don't include me in your beef. She also got nominated for a Grammy earlier in the year for Rush, which, by the way, like I remember being on like with an S earlier in the year. We were talking about when people.
Sorry, the Grammy nomination was for
2024. Yeah. And you know, it's like we're talking on with an S about like how we didn't have like the global hit, you know, of the year, but like Ira has definitely remained in the conversation, and even just recently, Rush has gone platinum in the US. Which is
US,
which she has over 1 million in the US, which is million units sold in the US, which is insane to me because I wouldn't consider it like a core US hit record, being that it didn't, you know, it wasn't on Billboard. It didn't get on Billboard, but it still has its way of like sneaking into that conversation. Then as far as like consistency, the performances that I've spoken about, the choreography, the outfits, the behind the scenes content, like the Chris Brown. It produced so many moments. Like I think about like her just hanging out with Chris. I think about like the thing on TikTok with the Ashake log drums on Goodbye, and how like that produced a whole trend in and of itself. You know, just the collabs like with different people that she's been with, Maybelline, Coca-Cola. She was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. She's getting the bag. Her rollouts was crazy. To be honest with you, I don't know that too many rollouts beats that.
I mean, like in terms of rollouts, I think she kind of is.
Bro, she is.
Music, she herself is
as a personality, like to the point that I remember, like obviously her and Thames released back to back in separate months, and I remember people back then, even though like. Just to tell you that the fans don't know what they're talking about, because like even now they're speaking about like, oh, we want Ira Star to have Thames' team because it would elevate her. But I remember at the time the conversation was they wish Thames had the level of exposure and like being out there that Ira had. You know, as far as like collaboration, I think that's probably the only area that's a bit more weak because for some reason nobody has really gravitated towards her locally. So it feels like a lot of like the collaborations have been from outside. So I think about Coldplay, but locally the only collaboration that I could really think about was like on the Tiwa Savage Water and Gary project, which is like she had like this song Gara, then a couple other people, like a couple Indian artists. So I think that's probably the only weak point. But then as far as like even just being out there, which is like fan engagement that we spoke about, like she did Apartment Life, which is where she premiered it was Goodbye.
Okay,
she could premiere Goodbye.
That drop she did there
was madness, and I'm going to take some credits for that. I'm going to take some credit for that because I was on the...
Like I didn't even realize until I saw Deji's.
Yeah,
like,
that's easy. It's easily my
giving influence.
it's my most viral tweet to date. You know, and it's because of her. Like I had a Twitter post that went insane, close to like 1 million impressions that I've never had before. Then even the Instagram thing as well went stupid. Like Don Jazzy was on there, Rima was on there, Ira herself was on there, you know. And also kind of like speaking about Brazil, like it's not... Regular artists don't just break in Brazil. Brazil is like another world in itself, such that even when like earlier in the year, like they got banned on Twitter, like so I think they had like a dispute with Elon Musk, so they went quiet for a while. But as soon as they came back, you instantly felt the impact because Brazil is one of those places where if you break there, you've secured a bag for yourself. And then even like, bro, even the woman commando TikTok trend as well that was out there, I think she just did the business this year, which is why easily for me, Ira Star is my artist of the year. And Rema could have definitely been in that conversation as well. But I'll tell you what the distinguishing factor is, which we'll talk about later as well. It's the album. Rema's album stuck with one theme and it's like, this is what I'm going to speak to. This is the area that I'm going to just keep flogging the drum. But Ira Star, range. But we're going to talk about that later on. There's so much to talk about. But yeah, Ira Star is definitely...
5.
No, there's so much. She's definitely my artist of the year. When I think about like people who just created an impact in my head, like even like down to her having like her own doll, like there were just things that were so
That was
definitive.
kinda
It was so cool. So Ira Star for sure is my artist of the year,
Okpo. Afrobeat princess.
bro.
Don't be lie.
No be lie. Oh.
AOT, I guess.
It's
Who's your artist of
it's
the year?
obvious.
Rema.
It's just Rema.
Yeah, I knew
We're on
that.
the same page. I like the fact that we're on the same page. Like,
I've
you
been
know what?
studying Rema for like a year or 2 years.
You know what? Please just keep your debate. Just keep it.
It's not debate, it's just my reason.
Yeah, your reason. Just keep it so that when we want to fight later.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You will support
It's
itching
the
for a
Batman
fight.
himself, Bruce Wayne.
Cool.
Remy boy.
Okay, now the most intense one. Of
Coveted.
the album of the year.
Yeah, I know.
I think your
Gang.
artist of the year doesn't already translate to what your
Well,
album of the year
no,
is.
actually, not for me. What about you?
Not really, because if
I
you're-
guess maybe don't start.
if you're a hot artist, basically, and you have like 7 hot singles, you could easily go for
Artist
artist of the year
Yes.
and beat anybody.
True.
Okay, you know
Like
what?
Mayor Kunda here.
What's your album of the year?
He is now Rema.
Haze.
Heist.
There's
It's
nothing
Rema.
they've not called out.
You're not, bro. Now you won't know. You're playing double or 100 there. So,
I love it. I love it. Deji.
yeah.
Oh, no, are you done?
Oh, you want me to explain for
I would love to
I
hear.
mean, okay, something that I have wondered for a bit in terms of like the snippets and the rollouts of Rema's. You know, he actually puts out a couple of snippets before.
Yeah.
Do you think that was not intentional, but do you think that was like important for him to do at the time?
was important because he was doing a 180 change in brand.
Mm.
Him releasing that bat logo, the bat look and everything, he was setting us into the mood of this is going to be very gothic, it's going to be very dark. You know, look at his O2 performance where he came out on a flying bat and people were saying, oh, the money. Then later I had
That
to
was kind
explain
of
that
funny.
this one.
Was that this year?
That
Oh, was
last-
this? Oh, it was last year. It was
that
last
was
year. It was
last
last year.
year.
It was last year.
So you have because if you just come out straight like that shock would have been too much.
Yeah.
Would have been too much. So it was laying down the foundation.
Yeah.
And also showing us that you could floss and say, yo, I can afford an expensive rollout. Because, you
But
know.
do you think now this is actually my question? Do you think it's important that people not adopt because it doesn't have to be the same thing, but do you think it's important that people like take on something like that in terms of like
rebranding yourself? Or
yeah, not just rebranding, but like when you are rebranding, helping people understand that you are actually rebranding. Because I think that's one
Yes, it's
area
very
that,
important.
like Rema really flourished. He really
Yeah.
helped people understand that okay, it's not just about Rema,
Yeah.
right? There's a whole personality
Yeah.
behind it now.
Yeah, like what
It
did you
has
say?
always been there, but this is what
narratives
I
are
want to
very important. You can't just wake up one morning and just say, okay, I'm a bat now. People, like, they don't get it.
Yeah.
And once they don't get it, they can't connect to the music. No matter
Absolutely.
how brilliant it is.
Yeah.
But you're setting the ground for it. It's a storyteller.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the storytelling is not just the music, it's how you present the music. Just
Yeah.
like the way cooking is more than just bringing out the food or anything. As a chef, the way you present the food also matters a lot. And that's what Rema did. And he showed us that this is the level where I'm playing at right now. This is what you should expect. And he got people ready for that.
Yeah.
I think him just doing the normal Niger Afrobeat thing of, oh, new album dropping, so day. The save link in bio. Would have
Oh
made
my
him
God.
miss
I
the
hate
mark.
you.
Yes, now bro, I don't have, and there are a lot of albums like that, like,
Yeah.
bro, you should have taken your time to break this down for us.
Yeah.
So it was very, very necessary. I think it's one of the few master classes in rebranding and rollout in Afrobeats. Like,
I agree.
take your time, let's do this. Work with me.
Yeah.
Why I'm here. And Rema is so smart that this rebranding didn't start now.
Yeah.
If you notice that when he went to the headies, that speech he made was basically saying,
Yeah.
Setting everybody
Yeah.
I'm coming back home.
He's smart,
Yeah.
man.
He was smart.
It's a mindset.
Because he knew that he was trying to
Mindset.
say, oh, the big three are not coming back home because they don't really need you anymore. I'm coming back home.
I got you.
I
think
got
it's
you.
you.
Then he dropped the EP. The EP was an indication of
Yeah, Ravage.
I'm
Yeah.
getting there.
Changing.
Then he just went blank for months. Then he came back with the
yeah.
rollout. And like, that's how you do it. You don't just wake up one morning and say, I'll drop banger.
It's not like that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very, very important.
You know what's so funny? After I heard Red Potion, because there's even evidence of it. I put out a prediction on Twitter. I think maybe in like May, but maybe like 2 months before came out, and I said confidently that I thought he was going to be the person to usher us into the next era of Afrobeats because I could tell that he wasn't playing the same game everybody was playing.
Yeah.
It was so obvious. Like, bro, Red Potion is. Bro, it's a theater production. The level of elements.
theatrical.
What?
Artistic. bro.
And,
Just too much.
and even when you think about like he is as a project, bro, the intros alone, their moments.
And something you can perform on a big scale. Like, you take Rema to the Louvre now. He can perform that. It's
Bro.
art. It's like when
art.
Kanye West was
Literally.
playing on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's on different elements. It's multi-visual now.
Yo.
Now.
And I want to stop to take this moment to acknowledge P Prime because
he's a generational, like he's a star. P Prime, call me, come back. Hey, we need you on the board.
P Prime is he's I don't know that I have enough superlatives to speak about what he accomplished this year because P Prime gave you conventional, P Prime gave you distinct avant-garde.
And you know the thing, if you look at it, like you look back the past few, let's say, when did what album was that? The one with Fireboy's first album, 2019. Let's just say the past few 5 years, he has been there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has been there.
He's an
and
earmark.
it's not just that he has been there. He has been there, like consistently. This people is the same person that produced that song with Zlatan Mayoko and Davido.
Yep.
You know that song. Like was
Chockity,
very, like
chock.
bro, are you crazy?
Yeah. No, P Prime. His range. He's one of those people who is like
The range is crazy.
it's nuts. It's like and. If not that he was from SARS's family tree, like if not a bit, he's from SARS family, so obviously all his successes are going to be traced back to SARS.
I don't even think so. I just think he's a very fucking special kid.
No, he is. But I think that legacy
Like,
definitely,
obviously,
you
in
trace
terms
it
of-
back
yeah,
to
yeah,
SARS.
yeah.
If he didn't have that, and even with that, bro, when it's all said and done,
He will stand out.
oh my
Don't
God.
you stand out?
Like,
I think he'll be the GOAT.
He's looking like he's
you
looking
just
like one
have
of
to
the
be
greats.
honest
I
sometimes.
think he'll
You're
be
just
the,
like,
bro,
damn.
he's touching everything that matters.
How can you produce Ashake and Ashake, Whiskey and Rema in 1 year?
Like, bro, let's even just look at like the it's the rain.
It's
The
nuts.
range. I'm not
It's
sound
nuts.
like
It's the rain.
It's nuts. It's everything.
The boy is good.
It's also the fact that like he's musical. When I think about chords, so one of my favorite chord progressions of all time is Ozumba and Badiwi.
Yeah,
And that's
fair
P
enough.
Prime just doing madness. Like, who are you?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's filthy. Bro, it's filthy.
Petition to add producer of the year.
I would love
Cool.
to.
I actually
Right,
wanted to, but
At this point, it's only one person. now.
It's
Why
only
would-
him.
It's-
It's only him. Nobody comes
Precious,
close.
I'll be peace. What's his name? Which one is
Please, already up. No.
Cool.
Oh, so
That
we're
makes
doing
sense.
artist of the year, bro.
Cool,
Album
yeah.
of the year.
Album
Okay.
of the
I
year.
already
You
said
So
mine
it's
already.
yeah,
his.
you said
Yeah.
your artist of the year. So album of the year. Okay, Deji, please read us the
Okay, cool. I mean, my artist of the year kind of already gives you a little bit of an inkling into what I think album of the
I
year
actually
was.
want you to read us the
Criteria. Okay, cool.
Okay, no, you just
So let's do the criteria first. Artistic cohesion,
yeah.
obvious enough. Lyrical depth, musical innovation, production quality, which is something that I think will always be a standout element, whatever albums that you pick. Replay value, cultural impact, commercial success, and longevity. It's so funny because when I was thinking about longevity, I was like, man, low-key, Wizkid's album is one of the albums that I would think would be in the conversation for album of the year, but it hasn't stuck around for long
And it
enough.
came too late.
It came way too
so
late.
it might be 2025 coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
start
yeah,
the
it
next
definitely
year
starts for the new
conversation.
calendar year for music. But yeah, those are the different indices and like, criteria that I think we can judge album of the year by.
Yeah.
And if I'm going by that,
Yeah, let's hear yours.
my album of the year is
So it's one and dangerous.
That's what I think.
the year I turned 21,
I
bro.
think actually I predicted this.
I was gonna say that.
What?
Really,
Wow.
dude. It's
Remaining small, you marry Ira.
bro. No. See it. You know what's funny? Cause like, you know how like, for example, I know you're in 19 and Dangerous Life, right? Like you
Yeah.
swear by that album. I don't know that I have that same level of attachment to it because I think it's
For
definitely it's definitely like a. And forgive me for this. It's a bit of like a Gen Z project.
It is.
It's a Gen Z project. Like she has this.
We ain't angry about that.
And she has a
That's
song
what
on
it
there
is.
that's like literally Gen Z anthem. So like I know what she was going for,
Yeah.
and it kind of lost me a little bit in that because it can trend towards being a bit juvenile, like just a bit juvenile. Like, it's like you're very young, so like I get that. But 19 and danger. I mean 21.
Yeah,
the year I
for sure.
turned 21 is it's a realization of what I think is like the ultimate label process, where it's like we came together, we crafted, we thought things over, we took things out of there, we cut out all the fat. It is what I think is what label should aim towards as far as like cohesion and like curation. It's a template. That's exactly what it is. It's like we want to project this girl as the pop star for the next generation. This is how we do it. There is math, there is science. We're mixing things. It is so good. Artistic cohesion. I think all the different like artistic choices on the project were incredible. Shea vibes. The only person that I think I kind of like, I'm a bit more like, I could have done without you is Giveon. I like what it was for what it represented, but like it's just
That's
such.
so real, please.
That's so R&B, American R&B
like he
market.
needs to
Like,
not kill me.
It's such an anonymous song that I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I know what you were
but
going
I actually
for.
like the song. I
No, it's
wish
a good song.
It wasn't on it though.
It's a good song, but it's just
It looks
it's
so
not
obvious to me.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
that's
could
what
see
it
what
is.
I
That's
could
what it
see what
is.
you
I guess that's
So,
what.
so
that's
in
what
that
it
way,
is.
it's not memorable. Like it doesn't stick out. Which when the album first dropped, I was like, damn, this is a focus track. Like this is the track that you have on African Hits on Spotify.
I was shocked.
I was shocked. It's such a curious song. I mean, such a curious choice. Even down to like the music video, I was like, you know. So that's the one song that I was like, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't, in my opinion, match the heights that I think Ira is reaching for. But outside of that, Shea Vibes killed. Ashake killed.
SV.
They smoked it. They smoked it. Even her brother Miller was like, "Wow!" Like you
that was
brought
one of
her.
my favorite songs.
Me too. Me too. Like it showed a level of vulnerability and just like, you know, like measuredness that I didn't necessarily see coming. But I think one of the standout things for the project as well is like, it's one of the. And I spoke about this on the thing that I was on with AOT. The storytelling. The storytelling on the project. So the first half of the project, between like Bird Sing of Money to like Woman Commando, so she's projecting like strength. It's like I'm the woman commando, I'm bad. Like even on Goodbye, she's like, goodbye to my ex, I don't give a damn about that person. And then you progress. And then like the armor that she has on as the woman commando starts to calm down. And then you have Lagos Love Story, you have Control, where she's like, actually, you know what? I'm open to love. I'm open to be more vulnerable. And then she gets her heart broken. So you come to like the last heartbreak part where it's like, okay, now I've been hurt a bit. So like the armor is back up and I'm not really messing.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not really messing with you guys. And then
Not
after
the kids.
and then after the heartbreak, you have like no bad vibe. What's the song? Shea Vibes. Bad vibes. I mean, yeah. So you have bad vibes. You have the jazzy song where it's like, you know, I actually just want to party. I don't want to have to think about it too much. I'm trying to have a good time, and I get that. And then you also now have vulnerability again with like Kids Are All Right, 1942. Which, by the way, those two records in particular,
Kids Are All Right.
Kids Are All Right.
It's touching.
It's so touching, and I don't know that too many Afrobeats artists have been able to accomplish that in recent years. So I think about Bank on It with Burna, which had like a similar emotive pool. But yo, Kids Are All Right, and I'm not ashamed to say it made me cry. It made me cry because it's like right from the start, even the first lyric was like, hope the clouds aren't blocking the view. What? What? That level of she's just so, it's so poetic. It's so poetic. And when you think about like the actual emotions that she's drawing from, like the grief of losing a father, and it's like he didn't get to see what you've
become.
And then you have like all the different elements of the production where it's
Voice
like all
notes.
the voice notes, like her siblings come and be like, oh daddy, I'm getting married, I just had a kid. Her mom talking about like, oh, go out there and enjoy your life because your father didn't. My God. When she didn't get nominated for a Grammy, it really hurt me because I thought this was such a great production. Everything just coming together. Let me even go back to the original of like Bird Sing of Money. Bro, that is one of the best songs I have heard in Afrobeats. Left to Me is my intro of the year as well because the level of production.
This is crazy.
I rasta. I'm a look alone. So it's like, bro, like, come on. This was science. It was science. Like, they're
Yo,
just.
I want you to convince me that she's a scientist, but
I don't think she's the scientist.
Oh, wow.
I think the team.
okay.
I think the team,
Well
like
curated.
they curated it. It's just everything that came together to just put that together was incredible. The production quality was one of the things that we talked about. The strings on the project, the guitars, like the little clips that make it fun. It's like, I think it was in the record, Control was like, ladies and gentlemen, introduce you, Ira Star. Like, bro, please now. This isn't something that you crafted in 1 or 2 weeks. It's like no, you sat and you came together and you thought about it consistently. The cultural impact, it has the most streamed Afrobeats song that any Afrobeats artist has been on, you know, and Commas is only behind Love Me Jeje by Thames is endlessly replayable. The commercial success. I cannot speak enough about this project.
You know what? So I think you've been able to sell it.
Bro, this project is
You meant it.
It's insane. It's insane.
Cool. AOT, do you want to go next?
Yes.
Segment. Yeah.
You will?
Rema's-
Yes,
yeah.
he is. Yeah, it
Okay,
was he
you
is
can
for
go,
him. Yeah.
guys. Oh, that's me next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you.
Cool.
Clear your throats well.
You know,
But you have to
this
fight
is
for it.
crazy because wow, Deji has really eaten. What he has done. Okay, my album of the year. Okay, this is very, very, very like, what's that word? What's that word when it's very subjective.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, I was still able to work with the criterias, but still very subjective. My album of the year is Homeless.
I know.
I
already
knew.
knew.
So
I was
on
I knew it.
So
I
on
don't
brand.
see why.
I knew it.
My album of the year is Homeless by Luna. And this is not just because it's Luna. I guess I have to fight as well.
Speech.
When you talk about curating a body of work, I think about a lot of things. And I think about creating a moment. Like album of the year and like albums in general, when like things that appeal to me in terms of like albums have to be like standouts and like you have to be able to create a moment around me, not just like around everybody else and everybody that listens to Afrobeats and whatever. And I think Homeless was that album that really did it for me because the music itself was. I mean, we've been able to speak about Luna and his album and all that. But the moment it was able to create, in that moment, I was struggling so much. And when I say that I was struggling, I was genuinely struggling. So this was around the time, I think Homeless came out around the time when we released the documentary.
Yeah.
So it was a tough time for me. And I wasn't able to really rely on so many things because at the end of the day, like this is the hustle, this is what we like want and things like that. But I was able to rely on music, and Homeless really did it for me because I was, like I said, if sometimes I listen to the album and it feels like I'm like Luna is hugging me or like I'm the level of comfort that he was able to create for me is what was so important to me, and that was why I was able to like pick it as my album of the year. And Homeless, like I said, like Chidinma tweeted something about Homeless creating like a home and a safe space for you. And I feel like every single time that I decide to listen to Homeless as a body of work, I discover something new, something fresh, something important that Luna is trying to tell me. It's crazy that this album came out in July and some minutes to December, I'm still listening to this same thing and there's something new, there's something fresh, there's something like intentionality that went into creating a body of work like Homeless is like it's just so special. I don't know. I can't just sit on this too much because Lona himself as a creative, as an artist, is just special. Like I said, he's just something that he's just someone that you look up to and you look at and you have to feel some sort of empathy and like
you can't feel indifference about
like
it.
the feeling I think is so important to me, and I've said it before. When I'm listening to music, I look out for depth, and like I really, really, really like to feel something. And there's so many people that like make you feel something, especially with something like Afrobeats. Afrobeats makes you dance. Afrobeats makes you like happy, like exactly. But somebody is drawing me back into like, you need to acknowledge these emotions. You need to feel something like
going to the dark
that's
spaces.
the point.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I had no clue that it would be as commercially successful as it's been.
Literally.
That was such
Like-
a surprise to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Bro.
make sense. Like, you're out of the blue. You're not doing any conventional Afrobeats. You're making sad songs. And
But you know why?
Why?
Afrobeats is growing up. It's maturing.
Fair.
25
Fair.
years now.
Crazy.
Yeah. You don't have time for lamba all the time now.
Fair.
You have to pay the
People need to
bills.
cry.
You
Fair.
need to pay the bills, bro.
Because if you had told me that like a record with that level of melancholy would do that well and not be like, because like an Omale definitely had a level of that as well, but I think his backing was different.
I was going to say that with something like Boy Alone, there was
momentum.
there was anticipation as
Absolutely,
well. Like there
yeah.
was something. I remember I wrote a piece for Native on Omale and like the album itself and what to expect and things like that. And it surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
Completely, like
For sure. Me
it
too.
was so. Let's not even get into that. Like, it surpassed my expectations completely. But with Homeless, like I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that the album was coming. I knew Mide was tweeting every other day about
Yeah.
album of the year. I could tell that okay, the album of the year has not dropped. The album of the year has not dropped. Mide was literally tweeting that every other day. But when you listen to the music and you're like, there's no reason why a nigga like Luna should be making this kind of music. Literally, like it's just literally as simple as that. Like, I mean, like not even to be fucking classist or anything, but why do you understand all these lyrics? Like, what the fuck are you singing to me? Sometimes I'm hearing some things in the song and I'm going to Google. Why, Luna? You're sending me to Google.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. So is I think for me the reason why I picked this was because it's every single time that I decide to listen to, like I listen to some songs off of the album. But Luna, I said Luna. Homeless is one of those albums that I didn't even add to my like Spotify favorite tracks or anything. If I'm going into the album, I'm going into
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's an experience
It's world.
from beginning
end.
to the
Yeah.
end. And I struggled with this so much because I also wanted to. Stubborn was also another like album for me. Like it was between Stubborn and Homeless, and it has been like that for
Two
the
good
past
choices.
few months.
Two
Like
good choices,
it was either Stubborn or Homeless. But recently, like I said, before we put this episode together and all of that, we had been working on this for a while. Like during this period, it's just been like, okay, I've not really been in like the greatest of moods, and every single time is like, okay, the only thing that can comfort me right now, the only thing that can give me some sort of encouragement and some sort of like, you know what, you got this, is Homeless. Like I don't really get that from Stubborn. Someone like shout out to Victoria, he killed it.
Yeah.
Like I said, but the album that really gives me, that really creates a safe space for me, and really creates like some level of comfort for me is Homeless. And that's why it's like, you know what, even till this morning, like I said, it was still the album that I was listening to, and that's because, like, what else?
Yeah.
You know what? Listen to Homeless
you agree.
first, and that breaks you down. Then listen to stuff.
Like literally, like
It brings you back up. Like
back
yeah.
off.
All right, let's go again.
You know,
We'll try again.
you know what? An added layer of Homeless as well is like part of the reason I appreciate it so much is that it gives a voice to stories that you don't get conventionally. So to hear him talk about like actually running away from bandits is like, what?
Yeah. That's a POV we've not
What?
heard before.
In music as well, like
Inside the same Afrobeat.
like bro, where everybody's gying, you're talking about like
That movies expand. Like, all right.
bro.
And I love it. Like
Me
it's very
too,
That's
me too,
evolved,
me
yeah.
too. Which is why, like, if you asked me, like, if I was gonna do an incubator program to find the next like crop of Afrobeats artists, I would go to places like Kano, I would go to places like Kaduna, I would go to Ibadan, I would go to
PHCC,
Bayelsa, Port Harcourt for
PHCC.
sure, because these
stars.
guys, where they outside of the fact that like they have an understanding of like formats and templates and things like that, the unique narratives that they bring, like with Omale, for example, him talking about Bofire, that's not a perspective outside.
The tone.
Nigga said
too.
marine base. What the hell?
What? Do you get? And it gives them such a leg up because by being themselves, they're not even doing anything extra. By being themselves, they're unique just by default, you know. But yeah, I think Lona definitely deserves a lot of credit.
I also thought that AOT was gonna say Stubborn as album of the year. That's
Me
one
too,
Stubborn-
actually,
Stubborn is
because
my
of
second
loose
one.
talk.
of
Stubborn
the
is my
reasons
second
why
one.
I decided to pick
objectively,
Homeless.
I'll give it to
Yeah.
Rema.
Yeah,
But same personal favorites.
Yes. I really needed Homeless to be in that conversation.
Victori's Homeless.
Victori's Homeless.
Stubborn.
Sorry.
Stubborn.
Victori's Stubborn. His pen game is very underrated.
No,
It
he's
was
one
a
of the guys.
creative album.
History.
And the
Very
way he
creative
plays,
album.
the way he plays with melodies, like he's bouncing
the
when he's throwing
melodies
one, he's
for
bouncing
me.
when he's throwing one. Nah,
Like sometimes I sit down and think about it, like what exactly do I love about this album? I don't know if it's the melodies or the pen.
yeah.
Like I really struggle with that. But damn,
When
the
I
guy
heard
is too good.
the song History of Victori's album, I was like, bro,
History. Like
this boy is not.
History is
not,
probably the best song on that album.
Bro, I'm like,
they're
guy,
great
you
songs.
You
but
can't be
that
playing
song,
on this level. This level is too hard. Turn it down for them. They
History
don't
is
understand.
track 2 or track 3.
Track 2.
Track 2.
And that's one thing that I love, like pointing that out. Like the fact that okay, maybe the track 1 is a really good song.
Yeah.
But
Intro, you have to say
that
please.
track too.
History is the
was
intro of that project. Let's be real.
literally-
Osha Proper is like that's cool, but like history is
Come on.
the
Then
intro.
maybe
Osha
just
Proper is the
set
credits
mood,
rolling.
Yeah,
set
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
mood.
yeah.
Then track 2.
Literally.
Osha Proper is when you're telling everybody, I settle down,
Everyone
settle down,
settle
take
down,
your
calm down.
seat, take your
The
seat.
show's about to start.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Very
yeah,
soon.
yeah. But history is the one.
Like,
I
I heard
agree.
the song for the first time and he's listening, and I'm like, this is not why I'm here.
It was very
It was
autobiographical
different.
too. It was
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about
like,
him growing
do you know
up.
what it is for
Election
you?
violence. I was speaking about election violence there.
Bro, like, do you know what it is for you to sit down and create a song like History, like, and still name it History?
Yeah, no, he's bad. Nick is bad.
Victor is 101. He's bad.
Literally
He's
one
bad.
on one.
He's bad.
Okay, girl, let's continue. Let's finish up with
Mine is very simple.
Did the video drop album?
Is she a David
no.
guy?
No.
No.
That's the song. That's the song. Mine album will be Longo Boy.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Talk.
okay.
Talk your talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
covering ground.
Please.
Yes.
Make this
What
for
are
mental
the,
history.
what are
Yes.
the reasons? That's what we
Okay,
want to do.
so he moved from his long drums, his amapiano, what he's known for. He has mastered
Safe
that.
space.
Yes. And he went somewhere that, okay, we've not heard this. Most
Yeah.
of the songs on the album, we've not heard this from Ashake before.
Yeah.
Will he deliver? And we have to say he did deliver. Like he gave us Worldwide. Then the whole that
Jam.
song
kinda edited
that
that
no.
that one particularly.
And now we have Oh Yeah, like
Yeah,
he's
oh, yeah.
pushing it. Those each song on the album from beginning to the end, he's ranging, giving us his range, giving us okay, I can do this. You know what I'm good at this, but let me show you
I
something
can
else
also do it.
I'm good at. And he delivered on Longo Boy. The theme behind the album, the Longo Boy, there was this interview he was explaining the
emoji.
tire, yes,
Yeah,
the tire. And he, when you hear, you would know that he knew what he was doing with
Yeah.
the streets, the tire, like he's a street boy. But yet he can still come and sit in the table internationally. We have the international acts
Yeah.
there, and he still did not lose the originality of
Yeah.
Ashake.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
also
defense.
think for
I-
Lungu Boy,
Yeah, real.
when we talk about experimental sounds,
Yeah.
a lot of people look at Rema, who did it well. But if you hear Wave and you hear Active,
Thank you.
bro,
Yes.
It's
Now
not easy
Active.
to pull
Active
off.
was almost my song of the year.
You-
When I
Me too.
heard-
Me too.
Didn't win.
When I heard the snippet for Active and I heard, well, Joe, I said, no, it's not
Like-
possible. This can't be possible.
I won't lie to you. For me, it wasn't even Majo. It was the bate, like the New Orleans
Yeah.
bounce. I was like, what is going
You
on?
always bounce on it. Like,
Oh,
bro,
no,
And you're not saying you're putting Travis. one of the
Travis,
biggest rappers.
yes.
And Travis did not sound
Out of
like,
place.
No.
He didn't sound out
He
of
fits.
place at
What Travis
all.
said down
I
to
was like,
Ikeja.
Travis
I'm like,
should
bro,
be here.
shut it down now.
Quickly.
It's okay.
But you know what my favorite thing about Travis working with is him like messing around with the Ayuba vocals. So it's like this my shit. I was like,
that's my
like
shit.
what's going on? You have Ayuba and Travis on the same record.
Bro.
To be honest with you, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I think maybe because of the heights that Afrobeats has reached and like the level of homogeneity where everybody's doing incredible things. Bro, Active is not normal.
It's
It's not.
I think it was
Normal.
It
almost
shouldn't
my song
work.
of the
It
year.
It shouldn't work.
It shouldn't work on paper.
It
Yes,
shouldn't work.
yes, I agree.
You having a Kanye West
Yes.
producer doing the New Orleans bounce in the beginning. Then
Uh-uh.
SARS now takes over and does the love.
Yes,
bounce. Now
exactly.
Inside the same Afrobeat.
And you
Yeah, bring
still
it back
kept
and then
that
vocals,
that
everything.
traditional
like he's
this
so
thing coming
original.
from.
It's
and I
not-
think
it's
that's
not
one
a
thing
normal
I
record.
love
It's
about
not. It's a
Ashake.
very abnormal record.
It
And
is.
let's
Very
never forget that
original. The
Ashake had-
originality goes deep. It runs deep.
It's too
Like
hard.
you can't take it away from him. If you
It's
like,
hard.
And
say
you
can't
you
speak
you would
English,
know
say
that
anything that you
Travis
want,
Scott
but you
himself
rather
liked
sing
the
Yoruba.
song.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
He
producer for-
likes
he knows
the
how to produce
song.
I mean,
sound.
Travis tweeted about how he's destroyed
Speakers.
about 3 different
Yes.
speakers because of that
Because the
record.
drums are heavy.
And at
No
that point,
madness.
anytime they are showing him, he's listening to the song.
He's
Like
in it. It's
like,
inside.
And let's not forget that Ashake's Lungu Boy had the most anticipated snippets.
Oh yeah,
Fuji
Fuji
Vibe.
Vibe.
Which
Yeah.
is like,
Oh
yes, when you're
my
performing that,
God.
like, bro, when are you drop? This is what you should drop for
Yeah.
us. So yeah, that album actually has a strong shout. You know,
that
for
Fuji
album.
vibe has like 3 songs in
It's
it.
3
Oh
songs.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
three
yeah,
songs.
Like,
yeah,
or more.
yeah.
There's the first one, there's the first dance break,
And
and
still
there's the
and
second
take it
dance
up.
break.
And oh no.
Also, just even the way Fuji has been in the forefront this year,
Yeah.
like down to even
Yes.
the Wiz projects with Troubled Mind and the K1 thing, it's special. And I think Ashake can definitely take a lot of credit
For
for
that.
bringing it back into
Yeah.
the mainstream.
That's my
you know.
artist. That's him.
Fair enough.
She said
Fair
that's my
enough.
artist.
Fair enough.
She's killing
Fair enough.
me.
Album of the year was it definitely deserves a shot. And to be honest with you, he made me eat my words because the first time I heard it, I was like,
Yes, because you're not used to
Ain't
it.
eating.
yeah, it took a while. It took a while.
You're not
But
used to
was
it.
a
You're
great
used to. You're
project.
used to
It was.
Money with the Vibe, Mr. Money. You're used to Work of Art.
Yeah,
You're used
yeah.
to him
Yeah, used to
giving
hearing
you. Yes.
Afolabi Ashake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then
maybe I should
you
get
calm down. Like,
real.
okay, this is new,
This is
and
special.
I'm enjoying it. Yes.
The only thing that I still can't, actually two things. The only two things about that project that I look at, and I'm like, I still don't get it that much. The intro with the Asha tributes. I feel like it was just like, I just feel like I want to do
Sorry,
it. Like
I felt that was the laziest
Yeah.
sample ever. Like,
yeah.
Chop our voice, I continue after. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I can do this. Come
Yeah,
on.
it felt like nostalgia beats.
It
Like
was
just feel like
nostalgia
just
beats.
bring people back in. And then Wine with Ludmilla. I still don't connect to that
I
record.
know that-
I'm sorry.
I know what they're
what
playing
he
for.
did.
I know
but
what
just-
they're playing for.
But I just don't feel it.
Yeah.
I just don't feel it. But those are the only two. Outside of that, there's nothing else that I don't listen to
worldwide.
actively.
Ooh.
Ridiculous.
Then I love Legally. Legally is my best.
Oh, Legally,
I
oh my
love
God.
that song.
When my Spotify rap
I
comes
love
out, it's going to be one of my highest played songs of the year.
Seriously?
It's
Yes.
left on collab on that album. Track with Stormzy.
That too. That too. I've only
I feel
just
like
started to
Stormzy might have
appreciate
been
it.
annoyed because he spells his name wrong on the fucking like.
The Apple. Tell her it's
Really?
Afro
Yeah, I
Beats.
didn't see that.
Oh, of the track list
Yeah.
graphic that
Yeah.
came out. I remember that.
Woo.
Like
I love
if Stormzy, that song ain't
Without an
coming
R,
out.
Abby.
See,
It
like
was
the nigga.
Stormzy.
As long
Stormzy.
as the check is alright, bro.
I don't want to care what the check is. Why can't you even spell as little as a name?
The Apple, the Apple.
No,
Why
but
you do like that?
his influence this year was nuts. Like even just down to the fact that even Stormzy interpolated him on his record
Yeah,
for
that
Lonely
was
at the
kinda
top.
Lonely,
Like,
lonely.
no, Ashake covered
At
ground.
the top is me.
If I want to
covered
give
ground.
my heart, like if I want to follow my heart, this is Longo Boy is me being a professional in the music
Oh,
industry.
okay.
If I want to follow my heart, I'll be saying Adidamola.
Are you serious?
Fair.
I love
know
that
AOT likes
song.
The
that
late screamer. Say, out here short.
My God.
Damola needs to be for real.
You know what Damola did on that?
From the
You know what
intro.
Bad Boy did on that album? I'm going back to default settings. That whole Playboy thing, you
You
people
know
be
the
like,
thing.
I'm
You know the
going
thing
back.
about Afrobeats and niggas generally. Like at some point, you have to be for real.
Yeah.
Like you just have to decide that you need to be
I
serious.
just want to tell you that, look, I did
And he's
that.
like, Damola,
That Playboy, you're
he ain't for you.
You are supposed to be, girls are
ain't
supposed to be cheating on you.
I'm
Hell
crying.
and Back is your song.
Yes.
Hell
Oh
and
my
Back
God.
is your song.
That is
Let
my
them cheat
song
on
on
you.
the album.
Go
Oh my
to mental health
God.
defense, all that kind of shit. Don't be saying that you have 5 girls. No.
No, we don't want.
We don't believe
No.
it.
Because
We don't believe you need more people. Literally.
Oh
I
no.
mean, to be fair, he did say that like that was a period where he like struggled with like coming up with ideas. And if you
Yeah.
see
I
it
mean,
like
it's obvious.
it was
because
obvious like
wasn't you.
that song also has his worst song of all time,
Which song?
Having Fun.
Not even know
That song should
I
have been
don't even
deleted.
know.
What
If you don't know
that
that
song
song, go back and check that song
When
out.
I saw a song like Afro Highlight, I think it's called Afro Highlight.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know there's
There's
something good.
suffering.
He was looking
suffering
for
that he was
inspiration.
rapping. There was one that he
No,
was
I
rapping.
like
That's when
those.
I knew that Damola didn't say anything.
But when you hear this album, you hear the song with Seun Kuti, you hear the one with Lagbaja.
Oh my
like
God.
you need to
Yeah,
be
but-
for real. at
Even the
some
singles he
point.
released earlier now sound better. Like
They do.
yeah.
Every day is my jam.
We know.
Same. And
I'm-
I'm surprised that I queued that song. Because like I never used to listen to it. Like it was a good song, but on the album it just
It sounds
so
a
much
lot better.
It sounds
Yes.
a lot better now.
Yeah.
He deserves a shout out to like.
I mean, shout out to Adidamola. Next
I will
time
say
promote your album.
I will say one thing though.
Well,
In as much as like going back to basics revealed a level of him like his that was like great, I still think he still needs to like just, and this is just by virtue of the
Needs to
class
go
that he
higher?
was in. He does
Yeah,
like
he
he
does.
there's a level of because he's what 4 projects in.
it's 4
now?
in now.
4? Yeah. 4.
There's a level
Yeah,
of like
don't trifecta.
yeah.
Didn't
so-
fit with the last one though.
Yeah, so in as much as like I think Adedamola is a good project, I don't think it's a level up. And I
It's
think
just like let's reset.
No,
Yeah.
no. I think okay.
talk to me, what do you think?
I think like a reset.
that makes more
It felt like a reset. And I think because of the people are pushing the envelope, man. And it's not because I don't think somebody said this that not every new album has to push the envelope. Sometimes
Yeah.
they can reflect the times, which is what I think Adedamola does very well.
Fair enough.
But I think when you get to the levels that he's accomplished, you have a Peru, which is a global hit. You're on a record with Ed
He's
Sheeran.
become an OG now. He's like 4 albums deep.
He is. And I don't think too many people of his class can boast that because most people typically, go for EPs.
Yeah.
I do think though that there's a level of expectation that he
Yeah.
has to meet. So it's like, okay, you've reset the vibe. You've got people back
So
on your
what's
side.
next now?
What is next? So that's
I
my
feel-
question.
Well, with Adedamola, it was very important for him to go to get the point because I feel like he wasn't really getting the point with what's the name of the album?
Playboy.
Like he missed point completely, and it was very important for him to get the point, even if that means going back to
Afrobeat
phase
songs are
one.
wicked though.
No, we're wicked. We're fickle.
Black guy.
We're extremely
They're
fickle.
black
Even
guy.
if that means
fickle.
going back to phase one, it was very important for him to, like, at least create a moment for himself.
Yeah.
And
Oh yes, he created a moment.
yeah, and that was all that like he needed to do, especially because if that album flopped, that
It
would have been a
bad. It would
problem.
have been
This one,
terrible.
this one.
Yeah.
Ah!
Bad.
It's like
Imagine
this.
Amola did
It would have been
it.
bad. We'd have said
That
bye
wouldn't
to
have
him.
been.
Before you
That
know,
wouldn't
they'll
have
start
been.
with
That would
describing
have.
us.
That wouldn't have been good at all.
Fireboy here, man.
Not the veteran.
They give you the veteran and it's over, man.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
That
So
veteran killed him.
for that case, I definitely understand why he did what he did. Like he's
Yeah.
like, I need people back on my side, and
Yeah,
he did.
and
He got
really
people
did
back.
it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm happy to be. a
Just on the
competitor.
record, I never left his side.
I did.
I never
left.
I never left. I was like,
I never
bro,
left
deliver,
Fireboy's
deliver.
side.
I definitely did. I think for me, it was like he attained such insane. Is an argument that I know he hates to hear because he's spoken about it. He attained such high levels straight out of the gates that for me, I feel like he was always chasing that. Like till tomorrow, I think Jealous. I'm not gonna. I think Jealous might be his best song ever, and for you to
first
have his
day-
best song ever out of the gates is
The
nuts.
first I heard Jealous was on the YBNL compilation.
And that's crazy
album.
because I don't really like that song.
What?
So I listened to the album,
Yeah.
just passively, like, okay.
That
Olamide
wasn't. I
and
feel like
Boys
that wasn't the song that made me a Fireboy
Oh.
fan.
What
it
was the song?
King that made me.
King
a
is
fan.
up there too.
is up there. When I was listening to the album, like,
King
Olamide and
was-
Boys rapping. I just chilling.
Yeah.
I was never
Not
looking
the
at track
Olamide
list.
and the boy.
I was like normal bars. And I had I said, wait, hold on. Fireboy here, man.
Madness.
Fireboy Damola.
Then songs continued again. Then he had another song. I'm like, I said, who is this
Who
Fireboy?
is this nigga?
Since then, I'm like, this boy is not normal.
Bro, the
He's
songwriting
very
on
special.
Jealous, the narrative that he
Okay, fair
creates, in addition to making it singable and danceable.
And it has just a big recall effect. When you hear you're like,
Damn, like I
This is-
never really
Oh,
got
no.
into that
No,
song.
Jealous
And
was
it pained me.
crazy.
And another song, when I talk about like not getting into a song that people like, another song that really stood out for me this year especially was what's this guy's name? The guy that has a song with Benson. Fola.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Alone.
I didn't get into that song.
Really?
Not because it's a bad song or like it's a really good song. People really like it, but I
Yeah.
just didn't connect.
It happens
And
sometimes.
It stresses me out because why am I not connecting?
I mean, it's derivative for one, so it sounds a lot like Wande Cole's what's the name of that song? The one that is super popular for that took off. That was
Again?
produced by Melvito
Again.
again, yeah. So it sounds. Actually, I think he freestyled over again, and then obviously like copyright and blah blah blah. So they went and recreated the beats, and the Alone came out of it. But I think I've with time I've been able to
I'm
appreciate
going
it a
to
bit
try
more.
again because I feel like there's why everybody did.
He has a project coming out in a bit.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to try and listen to the project. If I saw that his project coming out, I'm going to try and listen to the project. And I know that a lot of people really like the song, but I don't know why I'm not getting it. It's stressing me out.
It happens.
I'm
It
not
happens.
I don't want it to happen.
sorry.
Yeah, man. So okay, I guess for breakout single, we've gotten our breakout single.
Yeah.
And okay.
And what else?
No,
have we
no, no, no.
gotten?
There's still a Gen
Gen X.
Yes.
Gen X. Oh, I'm good with your math. Like
Me
I just
too.
really needed to make a case for
Man, street pop is very powerful.
like
It is.
Yes.
Once you get it right, you're
You know
gone.
the thing about street pop, and somebody said it that I think it was Wally that quoted something like that. He said something about Ayomaf not being the next Sheyi vibe, but having Sheyi vibes, but having that like level of what's the word?
Popularity, influence.
Influence as Sheyi vibes, not just with like the mainstream artists, but the streets.
No, you have to
Yeah.
get the streets first. Once you get the streets first,
Hey,
go.
It's
they
different.
love him.
They
It
love him
makes
like
no
mad,
sense.
man. And he embraces them too. So I mean, that's
You know
like-
the thing. It's not even like he's not even. You know, sometimes the situation is more like he loves them and then they love him back. This one, they love him. Like they genuine. Like you can see that they want. Like
The thing about
they
the
are.
streets is that
They crave the music.
once you sing about them, their pain, their struggles,
Damn.
it's all over. So
They
don't let
literally
you
just
today.
need a representation. That's all they need.
That's like Dagreen
sometimes.
is a god.
oh yeah,
Literally.
forever,
They will never
Forever.
forget. The streets will never forget Dagreen because
forever.
he spoke about them. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Random, very random because the green came up. I was listening to Piggy Bank by 50 Cent the other day, and I was like, yo, like I didn't realize how derivative
Yeah.
Pom 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 is. Like obviously I knew it was like there was a 50 Cent influence, but it's like this, like they're so
He
connected.
straight up took the template.
Straight up.
Up to the jacket.
Yeah.
Took it off.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
So I guess we have Dilla and we have Ayomaf.
Yeah.
So it's just to finish up the last one.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So we have Guest performance. We said Rema. I think he's probably gonna win in terms of he can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
So
that's the majority.
he can wait.
Yeah, I think Fikonweka is the one. And it's crazy that it came so late and still had the
Very-
level of
Yes.
impact.
Lord,
Impact.
goes to
And
that.
that's the only reason I'm not
Last
fighting
minute screamers.
for Favorite Girl, because that was a great one.
It was.
Yes,
It
yes,
was
that's
a
why
great
I backed down. Yeah, that's true.
So Fikonweka.
Yeah.
Yes.
So best collaboration, we had very different
Very,
did.
Very, I had Montana. You had.
I had Stubborn by Victoria and,
So is
Ashake.
anybody changing their this thing for anybody else?
No, I'm standing on
So-
business.
Seriously, no.
So what did you have?
Me?
Swear.
Churchill remix.
Oh, that's-
Yes.
That's a solid
I
one.
mean, I love that one. I don't know, like, bro.
I stand on my
So with all the cases that were made, nobody is changing their.
I'm still on Stubborn, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, Stubborn.
It was
Montana.
Stubborn, Adenuga, Tony Montana, and
I can give
Tony.
Stubborn. Because that's penmanship at.
And you know the thing, I can also agree.
Yeah, you also mentioned that was your song of the year.
This
So,
was my
like,
song of
That's
the
all.
year.
Pretend Ashake should not work. Like,
bruh.
Let's
bruh.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no. So Stubborn. I love
Because
it.
Stubborn.
Let me win at
So-
least
Yes,
one
good.
thing.
Yeah, Stubborn.
I'm
Let's
just
go.
moving. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, cool. So best collab. Okay, song of the year.
No, this one will argue for sure.
This one, bro.
Okay, let's see. Gen X, we said Ayomaf, right?
Yeah, I'm after next.
So Ayomaf. Artist of the year, did we agree? I said Rema, you said Rema.
Yeah.
You said
So-
Ira.
Ira is
said
one of those
Ashake.
things. Ira is one of those things where it's like I want to fight for her, but if I
But-
go with my head, as per like some like a big ass publication like Billboard comes and says this is what is going to be by your name for the rest of eternity,
So you won't go with Ira.
I might pick Rema because it's
Remy boy.
he's just the shadow that he casts, like
Too large.
even down to like the homecoming concerts in
Yeah.
Benin, like
No,
these
no,
are
no, no, no,
big
no.
boy
Who does that?
moves.
You
These
go
are
to Benin.
big boy
Yeah, I hear
moves.
that.
So because of that, if we had to concede, I would concede.
So
on
what's
Rema.
going on now?
May everybody go their home states, go shut down show.
Bruh,
It'll be easy to do am.
and subsidize
Are
it
you
too.
agreeing
Like,
with
come
that?
on,
Are
man.
you moving to the greener side? She doesn't want to agree, but still.
Oh God, because he's actually he's a good contender. Like
Yeah, he's a great content. Like, you can't really
he's
argue.
like that's the thing. But my
So
mind.
we agree with you. Ashake can be second.
I mean, if 3 people out of 4 are doing it, I
You know,
mean,
like
Fine,
you just
let's
have to
just-
join.
And
Yeah.
you always have it.
Okay, so we have song of the year and album of the year. Album of the year. You chose what, Ace? And you chose 21 and Dangerous.
the
Yeah,
year
it's on
2021.
21.
Yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine.
It's part 2. Don't
It's
worry.
part 2. That one, I'm not conceding on that one. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
there's a
on
better album
21.
this year.
My album of the year was Homeless, and your album of the year.
Longer boy.
I actually had 4 separate ones.
Damn.
Wow,
Who's
I'm
going
saying-
to
I'm
agree for
saying he was not
somebody?
hot.
It was hot
Me,
too.
you know what? I chose Homeless because I needed him to be in the
In the conversation,
in the
which is
conversation.
necessary. Yeah.
But the one that I wanted to win is not even there.
Which one?
Which is
Someone.
Okay.
fair. You
So
did
how
mention
do you
that.
do it? So you know what?
I can't let go of Ira, man. I
can-
think
I
can
don't
let-
agree.
I can let go of.
You know that there's nobody
definitive
here that I
one.
can agree with.
The thing is that I can't let go of Rema and I choose
Ira.
Stubborn. That's the problem.
You know, if you choose someone, I'm with you. Like, I'm with just so that I'm on your side. I can fight for you.
You know what's so funny? I think also it kind of speaks to the levels that Afrobeats is at, where it's like, you know, back in the day, if you had like a Burna emerging the way that he was, it was such a clear distinction
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
his accolades were so far above everybody else. But now we've gone to a stage where everybody has endorsements, everybody
Level
has big
playground.
stages.
Literally, like,
It's all the same.
If
So now,
you look at it, it's like, okay, everybody's doing the same thing. So you need to be able to pick your
Yeah, and it
your,
will
your artist of the year and your
yeah,
album of the year.
and it either comes down to the music just being very far above everybody else, or just preference. You know, and for me, I think, man, Ira, she ate,
Sorry.
man. She ate.
Ira, Rema,
I'm still on Rema.
Ashake. Hey, God.
Asake.
You know what? In all of this, I was still doing towards Rema.
Okay, that's fine.
Ready,
That's
boy.
That's fine.
Ace.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
She refuses.
In the year of our
So
Lord
you know what?
2024.
You all need to, argue
Sort
this
it out between
You need to
ourselves.
sort this out.
Once
It's
again.
my point.
He actually makes a very strong.
Yeah,
argument
a
for-
contender.
Yeah,
like, but
for Ira.
Lungu Boy is also like a.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, that'll be my
Well,
top 3.
If we're being honest, I was still.
No, that's
If we're being honest,
yeah,
like,
please.
You go
You lean to
Congo.
Ashake.
Like, I didn't really enjoy 21 the year I turned 21.
Really?
I
Oh.
did actually.
Genuinely.
Oh
It's my
wow.
top
Like,
3.
it's not in my top 10.
Sabi Girl FC for
And
life.
10
My top 3.
yeah.
My top
Like
3.
I love Ira and I love what she
Represents.
and, like what,
What
she
she also
represents and what
represents.
she can represent globally. But like
Yeah.
even what she's representing globally. But like I just don't know if like I just don't know if the brand that she's selling is strong enough to be sold to the global stage. Like,
It can.
That's a different point. I agree.
It
To a
can.
degree.
I feel like I always
But
say this thing.
there's a but which I cannot see on the camera. But there's a but.
There's a but, and do you know the thing? When like Chidinma and I basically worked on this list together. But when I was talking to Chidinma, it was something that I was very like what's the word?
Partially.
No, there's a word for it. There was something that I was very like
Particular.
intentional, particular about basically, and it was the fact that like Ira was more like relatable when she was or when she represented that celestial being and when she represented like
Okay, I get you.
yeah, but like when it just shifted to Sabi Girl, I just didn't get it.
It's the
Like,
cost of growth. You have, on the
I
second
think so
album-
too.
I need you to grow
First
in a
albums-
way where I can grow with you.
Oh, first albums are more intimate. Second albums are more ambitious.
Yeah.
Fair
Natural.
enough. And it's fine. I don't
Yeah.
mind. I don't like see with something like work of arts now. Like I don't mind, and that's the only reason why I would even lean more towards Dungu Boy because with somebody like Ashake, you can tell that okay, Ashake can make another work of art.
Yes.
Ashake can
In
make
his sleep.
another
Yes.
Mr. Money with the
And
vibe,
it's
but
so-
he intentionally chose not to make it. But I don't know if Ira can make another 19 and Dangerous.
But she's not 19.
Daddy Damola has shown you that he can make another LTG. He's
You
not
think?
far from me. This is who I am.
He was close
if you
with
look
this
at
one.
with
He was
Adi Damola,
very
like
close
it's
with
literally
this
the
one.
same
I
thing.
don't
If you look at
know.
it, it's like okay,
He was very
cool.
close with
I
this
can do the same thing. This is who I am, but I just want to be able to step out of my comfort zone, and I feel like that's one thing that 2024 was really about. And I don't know if people really saw it, but people were more experimental with music, and that's the point. We've been in the log drum era, and people wanted to be. And I feel like that's also another reason why the music was slow. People were really experimental with what they wanted to do with their music and the kind of stories that they wanted to tell, the kind of like personas that they wanted to sell. People were very intentional about that, but with like 19 and Danger, even a song like Woman Commando, I get the point. I get what she was trying to do, but she didn't sell it to me. And if she didn't sell it to me, then I wonder the number of women that she also didn't
she
sell
missed
it
out
to.
on.
Because this is a gap. Like this is a thing. Like women empowerment music is something that women always look forward to. That's why women like Nicki Minaj so much.
Yeah.
Because that's what they want. That's
Yeah.
what we want actually. But with Woman Commando, it's like, okay, cool, you're singing to me Woman Commando, but it's men that are dancing on your
I'm
stage.
crying.
I don't know how you have
I
really
think-
sold that. Like we have album of the year, Sha, so we need to decide.
Okay.
I'm cool with like A's.
Yeah, I can concede he is.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Rama, you can see.
No, I love the whole reset
Yeah.
of the album and all. It's actually very, I don't know, new. The sound it takes over someone's
It enters your,
like,
It does.
your psyche. But Lungu Boy, I get.
just sit with stand with us.
Ashake has tried now. 2022
Ashake, like,
album, 2023, 24.
yeah,
If you get second one, yeah.
Like do you really want him to complete the trifecta? Yes.
But
Yes.
Nali Pisco don't complete that trifecta.
No, but seriously,
crying.
And
literally,
see what happened to them.
Okay. It's true.
So yeah, song of the year is literally the last category, and we need to be for real.
So I had Ozeba because I just thought it was such a standout moment for the year.
I had Stubborn, and Stubborn has
Stubborn is up there too.
yeah. Stubborn won.
I'll lean
best
towards-
collaboration.
Because
Ozebs.
it's for the same album, basically. Anyway.
What's your song of the year?
Oh wow.
Okay, you're leaning towards Stubborn. I guess.
But was it Twitter? It was Twitter for you,
need
Abby.
to convert.
I'm still on Ozeba, man.
Ozeba,
I think it's so
Seriously?
distinct.
Don't.
Maybe we'll need
What's your pick
we need
again?
to consider
It was
the
2020
audience.
for her and it was Stubborn for Wonu.
Okay, but now you guys have collaborated.
Yes.
So both of you have Stubborn?
Yeah.
We can have a tie now. It's possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a
No.
possibility.
We have to
No.
There's been a tie at the Grammys and
when the
Oscars
Grammys
before.
are doing
Have they?
Yeah, I think in the Oscars
Supposed to
or
be
Grammys,
once or twice.
they've tied somebody together.
I think it's the
They tied
Oscars. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think it's the Oscars.
Mad.
They're like, bro, we can't decide. Take it.
Yeah. I think so. Rema because
I'm going to ask the audience. Well, yeah.
yeah, no, you should ask all this. Rema because it felt like such a statement. Like it's
Ozebs.
yeah, he went so far left, and he created something that you cannot feel indifferent about. So it's either you really love Ozeba or you think it's noise.
When you put Stubborn and Ozeba,
Ozeba.
ah,
Why did you do like that?
But Stubborn also,
you would now have to lean.
Towards stubborn.
but Stubborn also deserves a shout out because
No,
the
it's
level-
actually one.
the artistic level,
Best
It's
there,
Hello.
not.
the artistic level there is at the highest. It's premium. You can't play that, and it's not as if they are doing like we are playing on a very niche level. It's the biggest stage. This is Afrobeat.
Yeah.
But we're showing that this is not the normal stuff.
Yeah.
not.
We're going pen for pen. We're going
Bruv.
melody for melody, which is
Bruv.
not bad.
The pen for pen is crazy.
It's
guys.
crazy. And you think, oh, people always say Ashake doesn't have lyrics. First of all, his Yoruba lyrics are
You
mad.
said I stubborn,
said that?
Goni.
Unless you don't understand what he's level.
Shey, una
But
dey
it not show you that,
joke.
look, on any level, if you want that two, I'll go give you that two again.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that is actually good. But Omo, Ozeba.
Chidinma, what's your song of the year? Between Stubborn and Ozeba.
Let's
You
hear
say
it.
none.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Ozeba,
There we go. Zebs.
Okay.
You are a traitor.
So
That's how I know
this is a
it.
really boy clean sweep. One key thing we should say again that Ozeba takes what DJ YK has been doing for years.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
only flaw in the album is that he never gave DJ YK a feature. He does a DJ YK
Oh my
beat
God.
on that
DJ YK
song.
bullet.
That would be
Like Oble,
Oh,
Like,
imagine how
hey,
it's
God,
gone.
I
only
listen to
way
that song every
Fuji
morning.
vibe went crazy. That would be like a
It makes no
Fuji
sense.
vibe on that
Yeah.
song would be like on par.
I mean, so that's how many people for us? Ayaba me.
4 Zebas.
We have Ozeba.
close one.
so we're going with Ozeba.
I guess Ozeba wins song of.
I think more than anything, it speaks to how in 2024 there hasn't been like a definitive, like this song stands head and shoulders above every other song. Because I thought about years before, and for me, one of my years, I was thinking about Mona Lisa by Loje, and how like that was definitely the song of the year for the year that it dropped. And even if there were others, like they had to be like at such an insane level where it's like, you know what, we acknowledge
Or the Chidinma record with Techno.
that too.
Yeah.
That
you
too
can't
was
deny
nuts.
that. That's
What's it called again?
Chidinma and Techno. What's the name of
Buga.
that song? Buga.
That kind of record, but I don't think 2024 had any of those.
No.
You know, so with this one, it kind of has to. There have to be other things like layers on top of it, where it's like, oh, was this a moment? Did this
You have to
attract?
look at the context behind it.
You know,
Cool.
Yeah.
So, guys, I guess this is the part where you
You disagree in the comment section.
your song of the year between Stubborn and Ozeba. And I'm actually pretty shocked that it came down to these two songs.
Me too.
Like 2024 has been very interesting, so it's very interesting to actually see these two
You know the
songs.
funny thing, if you go on the streets of Lagos and I give people a mic and
Ozebs.
say, I said your own, you'll not hear like random songs.
oh yeah, for
You
sure.
go, yeah, Kim.
Some people tell you Terry Apala and Whiskey though. Now they don't know anybody, they don't know any song.
I'm in the mood.
Finish.
That was a good song.
Yeah.
It was
Cool.
actually.
So, but for now, I guess Ozeba is the song of the year, and that's okay.
Reluctantly.
You know, I don't mind the song too, but Stubborn is.
No,
also
I don't mind this
a
song. It's a very nice song.
Yeah, I guess.
I vibed to it a lot.
Yeah. Thank you guys though for
No wahala.
joining me. Thank you for
Thank you
honoring
for
my invite.
having
This is
me,
the final
having us.
episode of the year. So I was really honored to do you guys.
Awesome.
Love y'all. Thank
Love
you
you
so
too.
much. And to my supporters and my viewers and things, I love you guys so much. And this is not a joke. We really we take this seriously. You can ask them how long I had sent this to them. It's
Oh,
been
a
over
while.
2
Wow,
years.
wow.
Yeah, a while.
Yeah.
Plus reminders.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching a whole year of Osikoya Speaks. It's been how many episodes? I think we've been able to do about 15.
Woo!
Chidinma,
No easy.
More than the months in the year. bro.
That's
we've been able to do about, let's say, 12, between 12 and 15, for sure. So yeah, thank you guys for watching another episode of Osikoya Speaks. Thank you for watching a whole year of Osikoya Speaks. Next year we have the live show in January.
Nice.
And we have a new season starting in February. So yeah, I love you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you guys next year, 2025, when the music is greater.
All right. Davido, don't worry.
Swear.
Peace.